is a full functioning studio. This is called Mad Genius Studios.
It says Corey. But Corey can't.
Yeah. Is this thing on? Hey, what's going on? We are in the studio right now. Well, what was a studio. And it's interesting, I can hear the echo in here when all the stuff is out. But the studio needed a huge makeover. I've been spending so much time in here. I've been neglecting my social media, my YouTube videos, neglecting everything to be in this space. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm a musician. So I wanted to be comfortable in here. There was so much stuff. There was guitars and drums and keyboards, all kinds of stuff in here, and I felt claustrophobic. So we are having a studio makeover. So this is what it looks like now. In the magic of YouTube TV, you will see what it's gonna look like afterwards. Really excited about the colors we've chosen and the new setup. It's gonna allow me to be really comfortable in here and allow me to get to the things that I need to get to, the amps and the drums and the guitars, fairly easy. It's gonna be nice and cozy. I'm excited to share this with you, and I'm excited to share the new music that we've been working on. I've got to get back to work, so leave me alone. No, don't leave me alone. If you like anything that you've been seeing today or previous weeks, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave comments below. Let me see your studio. What you rolling with? What you messing with? All right, peace. I will see you guys towards the end. I don't need to say peace, do I? No, I don't need to say peace because this is like the first part. So, all right, I'm gonna give you some more shots of what this looks like and go from there. All right. As you can see, studio is cleared out. Everything's been spackled. I'm going to tape off soon and then sand. And then I probably need to paint today. I can't wait 4 or 5 days to get this thing done. How you guys doing? Come on in. You hear Barney in the background. He's mad because he's not getting any attention right now. But he's usually in the studio with me, so that's probably why he's mad at me right now. But we digress. I want to give you the updated studio tour after the studio makeover. Now, a couple years ago, we did do a studio tour, and I showed you my space, and it has evolved since then, and I'm really thrilled to show this with you. So come on in, and I'm going to take you through each pod of how it works and what it's built for and all that good stuff. All right, so we're gonna start really basic here. We're gonna start on this side of the studio. Now here, this is my mic locker up here. We got a whole bunch of various mics up here. Very cool. I do use these all the time. I love these. I love the studio because we built these shelves, and this kind of gives it a rustic vibe and a rustic feel. And so we also use the same kind of piping to have cables on, which is cool. Now, if you know anything about me, I love hats. I collect all kind of hats. And all these hats are from all the traveling places I've been throughout the years where music has carried me, everywhere from California to Vegas, and there's some hats behind there, but I just put all those hats up there as a reminder of how music has affected my life. And of course, you know, we got the other stuff for the videos, all this good stuff. But if you look down here, so each space in the studio, like I use each space in the studio very, there's a plan. So down here is where I stage all my equipment for gigs. So if sometimes it'll be, you know, I have mic stands, guitars, PAs, it'll just be right here. So when I'm ready to go on a gig, I can just grab everything, load it into the truck, and I'm out the way. All right, so let me show you this new section part of the studio as well. So these are my keyboards. We have an old school Roland JV1010, and we have, you guys don't know about this, but I'm sure we're gonna do a video on this one day. This is the Roland VS880EX. This was one of my first studio setups in the world. And so how we utilize this setup now is if I have a musician in here and he's maybe playing keys or something, you should be seeing a video coming out of, actually soon, of me doing a cover, looping live with all this equipment. So be checking out for that. Of course, I'm a big Star Wars guy, so we gotta get my man in there. All right, now let me show you. This is really cool. I love this. This was a find that we found in one of those, rehab kind of shops or whatever. This is a purple sofa, and my logo colors are purple, and so I was iffy on whether I should get it, and I called Angela. She said, "Get it. I think it'll be great in the studio." So we got it, and this is a cool little centerpiece in the studio. It's very soft. I think it just gives a really cool vibe. All right, we're gonna keep moving pretty quick because there's a lot to cover. All right, so this is an IKEA special over here. It's gray. This studio was purple and gray, so those are my brand logo colors. I love this little cabinet here. It's a little locker cabinet. I keep little ins, knickknacks, ins and outs, little stuff. You don't want to get too close in there. All right, this is my Venmo, just in case you ever want to send me some money, just because you like me. Make sure you pay attention. Venmo at I am Corey Tucker. Feel free to send that to me. That's as an artist. If you want to send to my business, it's Kenyon Creative. So just so you have those. All right. So since we're over here, we might as well take a look at all the guitars. So we're going to give you a shot of all the guitars and all the pedals. All right, so those are all my guitars. Well, that's a lie. Those are some of my guitars. And obviously, I love guitars. And those are some of the pedals that we utilize. And, a lot of times they'll make a record or two, and they'll be put on the shelf. This is a full functioning studio. This is called Mad Genius Studios. This is probably one of my favorite mics, is the Townsend mic. Man, you can emulate just about any mic out there. Man, we get some really, really crispy vocals on that mic. So recently we upgraded the computer in this studio. I did have an iMac in here. We upgraded to a Mac Mini. It's been very, very good to us. The only thing that has been missing is I've had to add a whole bunch of dongles so I could hook up all my equipment. But it's been great. I can process video and audio pretty much at the same time. Of course, we got a record player where I will, borrow samples for a record. Of course, we got a rack of some goodies. We got a patch bay, a compressor, BBE, just a couple knickknacks here. So if we come back here, I'm gonna take you back around this way. So all this area right here is when we do our video shoots. Obviously we have a video business, a marketing business, and so a lot of times our clients want us to come shoot video. So we went through a whole bunch of iterations before we got this bag. And I think this bag is a Monofroto, something like that. And I probably went through 3 or 4 bags before we got this one. I'm gonna open it for you so you can get an idea of all the goodies that are in here. It's really neat. We got the drone in here. We break down mics, all kinds of stuff, GoPros, all kind of stuff. We also keep GoPro stuff in here as well. So we can cover just about any type of video production that you might be looking for. All right, so we're gonna come over here to the drum set. I love this. It's just a simple drum set. We can mic it up. It sounds beautiful in this room. Like I said, this is a full-fledged studio. We can cut a full band in here. All right. So here you'll see all of the records that we have. When I'm out and about, sometimes in a location, or maybe there's a thrift store, I try to jump in there, try to find records that you would normally find in a typical record store. So this is where you can grab a lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration. We have a bass amp, a cajon as well down here. This is one of the PAs that we use when it's just me and a player or me and another vocalist. Simple PA system. And then we're going to talk about next here is if we look right here in the amp section, this is where I do a lot of my practicing. We got a couple amps. We got three Vox amps, a Bassman, and a Fender over there. And so those are the amps I typically primarily play with. That mic, that setup is for me to hone my skills and practice. That's where I spend a lot of my time working on the shows and kind of getting all the bugs out as well. So let me uncover some of these pedals here. This is the pedal board iteration I'm working on for gigging out. I have a couple different pedal boards. I have a pedal board for worship stuff. I have a pedal board for just acoustic stuff. And then this is the pedal board that I'll probably be utilizing more for blues. It's still in the beginning phase. I doubt if I'm gonna use, some of this heavier boss stuff for blues, unless I have a MIDI switcher. But, for my blues pedal board, you're probably looking at a blues driver, ultraphonics, a compressor, a boost, wah, volume pedal. I try to keep it really, really simple. One or two drives, really, really simple. Tone always comes from your hands first. Everything else just is like that cherry on top. All right, I think the last thing I want to talk about as it relates to the physical space is one of the things that we did recently was connect with GIK Acoustics, and they provided these acoustic panels. And as you can see, we got them on both sides of the studio and above the studio desk. Now, I wanted to have more coverage, but obviously you can tell the studio was pretty much packed out. But once we connected with them, I saw my mixes go from, let's say if a mix took me 4 hours, now it's taking me 2 hours. So that's one of the tips I want to leave you with today. If you haven't treated your room, I think getting some panels would be a great place to start. Now, why did I build this space? The why, the big why, right? So when I first started gigging out and wanted to be a performer, I started to go to a studio, and I found myself spending loads and loads of money going to a studio. And I always have this itch to understand the why. I just have this inquisitive mind to want to understand how things work. And so instead of me spending money in the studio, I decided to start spending money in my own space so I could come in, I could go as I wanted, I could bring in musicians, and we could utilize this space to get some creative ideas out. And I wasn't stuck to some location or stuck to an engineer. In that process, I learned a lot about music. I learned a lot about production. And so this space is not only for my clients, but my friends and my musician friends. And we come in here and we have fun and we make great music. So that's really the studio in a nutshell. We pretty much use every space in here. And the two questions that I get mostly is they look at the space and they're like, how did you do this? Well, it was over time. It's been over many, many years of just finding the things that made sense to me as a producer, as an engineer, that I thought could really accentuate what I already naturally do. And so it was just putting money aside every paycheck, every gig, and slowly, and I look up, man, we have this great space to create in. And so that was the how. Now the why did we create this space? Well, I found myself spending so much money in the studio and working with great engineers and great producers, but I have this inquisitive part of me that always wants to know why. I'm always questioning everything. And so, well, why did we move this fader here? And why did we put this kind of reverb here? And I wanted to know and understand all those things. Plus, I wanted to use that money that I was spending in the studio to build something that could be mine, that I could share with you guys, and I can share with my musician friends, and we can share with our clients. And so that was the why, and I think I'll always have a space no matter what. It might not always look like this. It'll probably be bigger. It'll probably be smaller. It'll probably take a whole bunch of different forms. But if you're a musician, if you're a singer-songwriter, if you're a video creator, I think it's really important that you have a space whether that's your bedroom, the living room, where you have this space where you can kind of shut out the whole world and get focused on what you're creating. Well, that concludes everything that this studio has to offer. Thank you for taking a look at this video. Make sure you stick around, watch another video. If you find value in what we're doing here on this channel, make sure you hit subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the like button and hit the bell notification so you're notified anytime we have a new video going up. Thanks for hanging out. Peace and love.
It says Corey. But Corey can't.